Wireless fidelity. Who knew that? You knew that. I didn't know that. Well, yes, Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity, and that peanuts are not nuts. So who came up with the idea of calling it peanuts? Should I call it legumes? All right, so I hope you learned something new today on today's edition of The Big Conversation. Get in the comment section and let us know if that was news to you or if you knew that all along. We'd love to hear from you, trust me. So, and we reply to every comment. So please go to the comment section, share this video, and let us know what your thoughts are on big weddings or small weddings. What would you do? I know a lot of people now, a lot of people in this age, I find more people who say, you know what, I just want to go to the registry. Before, there used to be a big shame around just going to the registry. People will be watching your tummy. She's pregnant. You know?
That's why.
But now a lot of people do that. And I'm very proud of all of the people I know, young people who just say, you know what, we're just going to go to the registry and wear something nice, a nice hat. And after that, we're going home. You know, so.
But do they scrimp on the proposal? Because before, proposals were private.
Yes.
It was about you and your spouse. But now,
photo shoots.
Oh God. It's either in the cinema, in the stadium. Yes. I mean, it has, the proposal itself is bigger than the wedding these days.
And I mean, before we go to agree, what would you say? Okay, maybe let's do a agree or disagree, because I have so many questions now. Let's see, what is our question? Let's take out our pens, our paper. In our agree or disagree segment, the question is, Jumoke, can you read it to us?
Okay. If your parents are paying for the wedding, you lose the right to make the big decisions.
Do you agree or disagree? If your parents are paying for the wedding, you lose the right to make the big decisions. So they decide what you're wearing, how many guests you don't, because I've seen this happen in real life. If your parents are paying for the wedding, look, get in the comment section, let us know. If your parents are paying for the wedding, that means they're footing the bill. You lose the rights to the big decision. So they decide who's coming, to decide which pastor, they decide who's chairman of the day, they decide, you know, most of the big decisions. Your own is just a pair. All right, so Jumoke, because your parents paid for your wedding, did you still get the right? Oh, really? So if, as a mom, you pay for your children's wedding and they say, Mommy, you don't have a say in anything, we decide what's happening at this wedding.
Okay, so this is a relationship thing.
Okay.
And so my dad paid for everything, but I got away with something.
The irony. I
got away with something that I knew was a big deal for him. Okay. And I was getting married in the village. I could not bear the idea. I mean, I knew.
You wanted that.
It was given. It's given. He's a traditional chief. You understand? Yes. And it was a big deal for him. Yes. I mean, and that's his baby. He's getting married. He needed to show everybody that he has. Yes. But I could not put my friends through the trouble of traveling for 4.5 hours to go to my village. Wow. You know, it couldn't work. And so for me, number one was the relationship with your parent, like whether they're paying or not. If it's about how much they love you, if it's a show of my daughter's done well, then you might just have a say in what you, as a matter of fact, they would ask you what you want.
Oh, really?
Now, for me, I knew there were many things to be considered. I knew what the biggest win for me would be. And so I stuck to, you know, it's negotiation. I stuck to, Daddy, whatever happens, I'm not going to the village. You know, and once he said yes to that, I was ready to say yes to anything else he wanted. You know, so it's a relationship thing. If we're both striving to please, they're striving to please you, you're striving to please them, so that we can all be happy, then you end up with something you'd be happy with.
I really wish I could make that. All right, so, sorry. So I agree. If your parents pay for the wedding, you lose the right to make it.
Abi?
Okay, what do you think?
So I mean, I believe if I'm paying for something, then I mean I should, you know, dictate or to some extent, you know, what I want to pay for. Now this is for major decisions, which probably include the numbers, the venue, maybe food, whichever. Right? It might not, you know, totally exclude the couple, because I feel like, I mean, the bride should actually pick what she wants to wear. But I mean, we still see cases where, you know, it's the mother that is even saying, oh, this is what will be nice on you.
Or if they're very religious.
Yes, they want them to wear it, or they're picking out the, you know, clothing. Probably, you know, I mean, it's just, maybe I would say is maybe from movies I've watched, you know, if parents are paying for, you know, the wedding, it's probably because they want it to be done their way.
Right.
And like, you know, I said before, some people feel like African weddings are actually for the parents and not for the couple. So if they are paying, I want it done my way. This is how it should be done.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I also agree.
Okay.
It's not how it should be, and it's also not a. It's easy for you to look at it and think that they are doing it and saying no, you do it this way. Sometimes they make it seem as if they are what's it called, negotiating it. Let's do a big wedding, you know, all my friends will come. And it's also easy for the child to say, you know what, since you're paying for the whole, my people are going to be sorted as well, let's just so. But I think usually when they pay, it's just there subtly. They are acting as if it is because of you. We want it to be the talk, but you know deep down that you just have to give in, and that's how it goes.
Okay, I also agree. If I am a mom, and I'm encouraged because I mean, I think maybe because I got married, I always keep saying late, but not like it's a timeline. But so I'd gotten to the point where I was working already, I was making money, so I knew that I wanted to contribute to my wedding. When I was younger, though, I'm sure I would have just expected that. Okay, I'm getting married, daddy. And so it's appointed to young people these days, gather your money. If you want a big wedding, contribute to it. You know, and people should be encouraged. I think our European counterparts, they do that. They think about it when they sit down as a couple, what are we going to do? What are we having? Then that way, you're not just having a fairy tale mindset when you know you're not paying for this fairy tale mindset. You know, so for me, if I were a parent, yes, I also believe that it depends on relationship. I feel like there's the African mom in me that'll say, no, you're wearing coupon. You're wearing coupon. Or whatever that is. But you know, I think that young people now started, I know wedding, I don't even know how people have fairy tale ideas for weddings would do it, because even a hall, to rent hall right now, a good hall that can seat like 500 people, you not spend more than 2 million, 3 million. How much are people making today to afford caterer? You're thinking of caterer. You're thinking even you need a planner to decorate. So I'm always pitying younger people now, because it's like, hey God, you know, when I haven't married that long, but it wasn't this expensive back in the day. Now you need so many elements, and then you're now seeing social. You're seeing Priscilla. People's name Priscilla. And you want to do and I know. However, you must have a level of self-awareness. And maybe if you tell yourself that, okay, if I'm the one paying for this wedding, I'll remove my eye from Priscilla and Juma Juke's wedding, and that, you know, so because I feel like if you're not paying for it, you better not be coming
to. Intimate weddings can be beautiful.
They can, and they can be expensive too. Let's not make it seem as if it's weddings.
In fact, sometimes I feel like the smaller it is, the more expensive.
Small does not mean it's not expensive.
Exactly, small can be. I know someone who did a small wedding, but oh my goodness, the element, it was classy, because classy is expensive. If you do a small wedding because you think it's going to know, it can just look, you know, tacky, you know, so, but you don't owe anybody. All right, so a wise word, Osare, can you help us?
Yes, once the rain is over, an umbrella becomes a burden to everyone. That's how loyalty ends when benefits stop. Now, this is a quote from Mr. Nobody.
Mr. Nobody, and it says, oh, okay, well,
and they don't carry him.
But anyway, I mean, the bottom line with this whole wedding thing is, you know, just have some level of self-awareness. And it's so important, even as parents, let's show our children that what you see on social media is just social media. And I feel like elaborate weddings can be special too. You know, it depends on how you do it. And it's money that makes it, you know, even if you want an elaborate wedding to be special, it can be, but it takes a lot of money. So watch what you see on reality TV show and leave it at that. And realize that your life is different from what's happening on social media, on reality TV, and do what really, you know, do what works for you. And I think any small last words before we go on weddings and...
Well, the quote, the wise words on the web is apt for the conversation of today. If you source for the money for the wedding today, it is later on that you realize when you put yourself in unnecessary debt or get loan just to sponsor the wedding. Later on, when you know, you will not even be able to keep the home, and it's just going to become unnecessary stress. How about you do what you can and then just roll with the tide.
And anyone who's insulting you and saying, look at our wedding, they really, you don't want them to be, I mean, trust me, you really don't care about those kind of people anyway. All right, so do what works for you. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for coming on the show today. It was a pleasure discussing weddings with you, and I know we're all married, but by God's grace, we'll do it for our children.
By God's grace.
And we'll do a good and very lovely one as well. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd love you to be a part of the family. We'd love you to be here. Well, that's where we wrap it up for today's big conversation. And oh my, what a conversation it was. Whether you're team small and sacred or team grand and glamorous, one thing is clear: your wedding should reflect your values, not just society's expectations. So let's keep the conversation going online. Drop your comments, share your own wedding experiences. We want to know about all the juicy details, or even your dream wedding ideas. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, and don't forget to share this episode with someone getting married soon. Come on, they need it. They might need to hear this exact thing. I'm Ronke Giwa Onofua. We'll catch you next time on The Big Conversation, where we talk real life, real talk every time. Bye. Bye.